So welcome back to the channel. We've got a little video today just on an installation of a couple of external sockets outside of a building, outside of a customer's house. So we've got two double sockets we're going to fit, and the interesting part of it is we've got a little rabbit hutch to heat as well, which is kind of unusual, which is why I thought I would put this one together. So let's get into it and let's have a little look around. So this is the inside with where we're going to feed the external sockets from. This is a little fused spur here, which just feeds out to an existing external socket on the back of the wall, just fed by a 13 amp fuse. So I'm going to keep hold of this and keep this safe. There's nobody else in at the moment, so it's not an issue. I already checked this socket out, and it's fed off of the kitchen ring, which is all tested out okay previously. So I'm quite happy to carry on doing the rest of the installation. So this is already safely isolated. I'll show you just testing the other side of the socket outside later on in the video. So this is the little external socket that's already existing here. This little IP56 rated single socket. I think what I'm going to do is set the laser level up, and then we'll come down the wall here at a low level, and then I think we're going to come across, probably, I'll just come back a little bit, probably underneath, if I can get underneath this slab work here where that step is, I'll go underneath there and then across, all the way across here, and I'm going to fix another double socket there on the wall. It's just started to rain. It's typical, perfect weather before, just started to rain now. So what we'll do is we'll fit a double socket here, and then I'm gonna, let's come across, here's the rabbit hutch anyway, look. So there you go, you see that, that's what we need to supply a heater to. So there'll be a double socket on the wall here. We'll come down in some NYY-J, it's all gonna be running NYY-J. We'll go across the fence here, across to the rabbit hutch, and probably just leave it on some a little bit of flex so we can plug it in and out if you want, and then you can move the rabbit hutch around and clean it if he needs to as well. It'll make it a little bit easier for them. God, it's terrible weather. It's started to really rain now. Can't believe it. Typical. So I just came back inside for a second because it's absolutely tipping it down with rain at the moment. So I just thought I'd show you what we've got in here. Let's get that silicone out of the way. I've got a box of bits in here that we're going to install. So here's our little 40 watt Dimplex heater that we're going to install inside the rabbit hutch. Let's get this out. It's already on a lead, but I might have to, I think what I might do with this is chop this off, put this into a junction box and run it in some NYY-J externally with a new plug on it. I'll just see how that goes, see if it connects up all right or not. So I'll test that first, but I think that's what I'm thinking. I'll get rid of this and run it into a junction box and then out into NYY-J. What else have we got? A lot of JB there, some cleats, the fixings for the heater, some glands, and these are just some little some BG double switch 13 amp sockets for outside. The rating of these are IP rating. I think from memory they were IP66. I can see it there on the label on the back there, IP66, so they're perfect for outdoor use. So we've got two of those. One of them will go where the existing socket is now, and this one will go closer to the rabbit hutch, just to keep it fairly close, and they can just isolate it fairly easily as well, close by. I also forgot to mention earlier that the kitchen socket's obviously already on an RCD, so there's no issues there. I mean, ideally, I would have preferred to have run it all back in from the board, but it's a bit of a awkward cable run, so we'll go with what we've got. That existing existing socket's already fed off the kitchen circuit anyway, so no issue with going off it again. So while it's raining outside, I thought I'd just come in and just see if we can get this to focus. So this is the 1.5mm squared NYY-J cable. So it's good for external use. It's quite a robust cable, and quite obviously it's not as strong or as good as a steel wire armoured, because it doesn't have the armouring obviously, but it's a good tough outer sheath that you have on this. I think Screwfix have done some reviews on it as well, but yeah, it's a good little cable for external use. So I just thought I'd show you, and obviously there's the 3 cores inside there. Also, what I wanted to show you was this little stripper. I think a few people have used these before. I've seen them. It's a Cory stripper, cable stripper. So I've seen them on a few different sites. There's been a few sparks that have used them as well, but I quite like them. You can see, let's see if it goes to focus. See the little blade there? It's always good just to get this little blade more or less the same depth if you can as your outer insulation, just so you don't nick any of the inner cores. So you can just get the depth of that, the same depth of your exterior insulation, and then start to strip it. Maybe when the weather starts to get a little bit better, I'll go outside anyway and see if we can film outside. But yeah, these are a good little tool. I like them. Okay, so it's still raining, but we'll take the front off of this and just make sure it is dead. We know it should be. Woof! Massive spider just dropped out of there. Huge. Oh my word. Let's have a look at this. Massive, huge spider just dropped out. And look at all the eggs in here. Sorry about the camera work. Look at that. All these little spiders. Incredible. It's never been open for a long time. Anyway, let's set this back up and drop the voltage tester back on there. That's horrendous. Cory would love that, wouldn't he? Incredible. These spiders' webs out of the way. Unbelievable. God, it's thick as well. God. That's better, I can actually see the terminals now. Right, let's drop on to CPC and the line conductor. And we've got nothing there. Across to the neutral, nothing there, neutral and earth, nothing there, perfect. So everything's dead, everything's isolated. so I just wanted to quickly show you this. This is just a little, this will be the route through. There's broke out the brick here, the cement, the mortar, just to bring us around, and we're going to come all the way down the back of here. We'll put some sand in the bottom of there before we lay the cable in. And you see it's quite deep. We just broke all this out with the hilty chisel, and it comes around here, comes through to the end here and out. And yeah, the cable's going to clip just on this mortar line here, and then up into the socket there. But like I say, we'll just take a little bit more out, and we'll lay a bit of sand in the bottom there, and it's going to be covered by these slabs. Everybody's going to see where it's going, so there should be no issues there. Okay, so you can still see the little spider's eggs in here. Lovely. But yeah, at least this was already sleeved up. Everything was nice and tight. But if you look here, look, I don't know how well you can see this. There's a great big hole underneath there that's never been sealed up. Yeah, you can just see here. I put my finger underneath. You might be able to see it. Put the screwdriver through. You can get a screwdriver through there, no problem. So that's never really been sealed up very well. So what I'll do is I think I'll put this back entry and just seal it up with some sealant, and then we'll come back and have another look at it. So if you just do take this seal off, and the screws are just at in the back here, so we can get to those quite easily. So I'll drop back in a second. Okay, so we've also just stripped off the socket now. You can see you might be able to see there's a big hole here. We're going to fill this up with sealant and make sure we get a good seal on here, and we'll do that with the same at the back of the socket as well, and get a really good seal on there. So what I like to do with the sockets is just get one screw in the corner first, and then get it leveled up, and then use the marksman just to mark the screw holes. So you get this nice and level. Were you happy with it? And that's it, all marked up, and drill it. Safety goggles on, once they're untwisted. Drill the other holes.
drain hole's already in the bottom as well. Let's get this back boy on. Drop the spirit level back on just before we tighten everything up. Looks bang on. Yeah, looks good. Perfect. There we go, let's bring you guys over, you see. So that's it, we're bang on there. Let's get the little sealant in the back of here and just put little black clips over. I'll show you that in a sec too. There you go, that's it with the little seals on the back there, a little bit of silicone. I just like to put a bit of silicone in as well, just seal it off just to be doubly sure, and then just put the little black clips over the back, and I'll silicone around the top here, just around the edges, just to make it a bit more watertight. Don't know if you can make out from this, but we've got the laser level set up there just to make sure we get a straight line, but let's see if we can see it or not. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit dark now, but we set up the laser level just to get the nice straight line on the cleats when we put those through. So I'll show you that at the end, I guess, once I've drilled everything on and got the cleats on. Okay, cheers guys. Okay, so we've got power on now, and we're quickly going to do the ZS. So I've got the meter already set up. It's set to Z at no trip, and that's it, test. Get that a little bit closer so you guys can see. 0.86, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got a little bit of hay in the bottom of here now, and we've also got a rabbit that's just joined us. But what we need to do is let's get this heater leveled up inside, get a nice little spot for this. I think we're just going to go for it here. I mean, ideally, I'd prefer to go a little bit further in, but I don't want to have the rabbit chewing any of the cable or anything. So we'll look to take the cable up through the top so the rabbit can't get to it, and yeah, just off the see what it looks like. Roughly marked up where we want to be, and oh dear, that's not good. We'll get this nice and level inside, and we'll use the yellow markers on this spirit level just to get our centres, and then I've got some little self tappers so it can just drill straight through. Should be no problem. Okay, so that's the little brackets just on nicely for it now. So it should just rest in here. So let's see if that'll just drop in. Okay, so that just drops it nicely. I'm just deciding which way. I think we'll have the thermostat pointing towards the front. It's a little bit easier to see. And then we'll get a hole drilled just to take the cable through. Put a little junction box on the back, and then we'll put the old socket that we took off of the wall there, and we'll use that just to keep the plug top safe when the hutch is being moved around or cleaned out or moved for any reason. So let's get this one nipped up. Okay, so I think what I'll do now is I think I'll spin the end of the hutch around so you guys can see the fixing of the sockets and the junction box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plug top off, feed it through here, probably put a 20mm gland on the end of it just to keep it watertight, and yeah, I'll spin the hutch around and I'll show you the other side of it. So that's it, we've got the hutch spun round. What I'm going to do is, I was thinking about putting a gland through, but I'm not going to bother now. What I'll do is I'll take it straight through the back of this IP65 junction box. So it's going to come through here, around there at a fairly high level. Try to get the entry point just nice and flat. And then we're also going to have this one over here, which was the old original IP66 that was on. And when they're moving the hutch around, we'll just keep the plug top safe in here so it just stays dry. We don't want to really leave it out in open to the elements, so when it's not in use it should go back in here and it'll just keep everything nice and dry. So let's get this marked out. So you can see now we've got the cable through, just nice and easy, just a quick drill through. I think I showed you this earlier in the video. What I didn't show you was just the adjustment on the bottom here. So you can just adjust this bottom wheel and it'll turn the blade up and down, so you can get it to cut a little bit deeper if you wanted to. So I'm just going to get the depth of this right and then strip this back. What I'll do is I'll leave some slack in here before I loop it round and then terminate it, because there's a little bit of connector block just to go in here, and then we'll come out bottom entry with the NYY-J with the 13 plug top on it. So let's have a look at getting the depth of this. A little bit too long. around. That's going to be enough. So I'm probably going to need to go off there. Good reason for leaving a little bit of extra length. Even though I just did this, it's still a little bit too deep, and I've just nicked the inner cores, so I'm going to take it down a little bit more, chop this off, and make it back a little bit further. So it's a good thing to do if you know, before you terminate anything. Make sure you've got enough length, or just use maybe the rough end to start with, just to make sure the depth on this is correct. Otherwise you might catch the inner cores, and I've just lightly nicked them, but it's to the point where I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to cut off here and redo it again. And what we'll do is we'll just take the piece that we've cut off, and I'm just going to test it on that, just to make sure I don't go too deep again. Like that. And that's much better. We haven't caught any of the cores there, so that's ideal. What we'll do, because these are also, it's a little bit of, it's like 1 mil, slightly smaller, maybe 0.75. What we'll do is we'll put some little bootlace ferrules on these, so I've just got to get the crimper and bootlace these up. So you see I had a quick change of plans. I put the gland in first. It just makes it easy before we start to terminate this. Let me just try and spin it around a little bit as well, because I don't think you can see in this JB particularly well. So I'm just going to spin that around so you can see a little bit better. Oh, come on. Right. Hopefully this is better. Okay, so we've got this one in loosely. It just needs to be nipped up a little bit. Well, what we do is we'll just get these put away, and then we'll have a look at the other end and get that one connected up. So said I was going to get some bootlace ferrules. So I've got this little perceiver kit. Not bad actually, and fairly cheap. Good price from on Amazon. Comes with a little grip tool with it, and box full of assorted crimps. So it's a good little kit. We'll try and get the smaller size cable made off first. So it's telling me here that the little white bootlace ferrules are 0.5 and the greys are 0.75. I know that this little piece is very small, so we'll try the 0.5s first and see how we get on with those. Okay, so it's not 0.5. I think it must be 0.75. Yeah, 0.75. It's perfectly. I'm going to put that crimp on. Just make a nice neat connection here, and they're perfect with stranded cables. Press those on. Have a look at getting this connector block in. Go around. I guess I could have put these on Wagos, but I'm not going to. I'm going to drop them through on using this connector block. This one behind. This one. Obviously, it's not going to matter where I terminate these, as long as I get the CPC, the neutral, and the line conductors in the right places. I want to take these up this way and in. So let's take the CPC first. Actually, I'm going to double these over, so I'm going to double them. Quite a large connection. Just want to make sure you're not squeezing down on any of the insulation or on the insulation of the boot lace either. So make sure you're just connected with the metal part of the crimp and the copper, which these are. Let's just quickly show you this from this side. They're just nicely swept in now. There we go, you can just see we nicely swept those in. And then we'll drop the top on that and fix the spare socket, the other socket. crimps out of the way before I kick them over. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just fit this one on here. This was the old socket that was on earlier, and this will just keep the plug top out of the way. I'll show you later. And we'll put the top on this. We just need to change the fuse because this is currently a 13 amp fuse in this one, so we'll use the fuse out of the one we cut off from the heater, the tubular heater, and that should be about a 3 amp fuse, so we'll swap that out, put 3 amp in here. Put the gasket back over. What I am going to have to do is just get a little blind grommet. I haven't got one with me at the moment, so I'll just go back to the van and get that. Okay, so let's swap that fuse over. Take the 13 out. Well, it looks like he's taking a turn for the worse as well. Again, I'm going to pee it down. Put this 3 amp out. So, got the 3 amp in there, which is perfect. Just need the cover for the top of the plug. That's it. So that's done. So that's all I wanted this for really is, you know, when this is not actually plugged into the socket, you can just plug it back in here and keep it safe and dry. They won't have any issues with it. So that's all that's there for. Right, I'm going to spin this back round again and get it plugged in. Get the cable dressed in a little bit and see what it looks like, and then we'll get some testing done on it. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this okay. So there's the junction box we fitted on. The cable's dressed out of it now, just around. I was going to put some more cleats on there, but I didn't have any short enough screws really for the cleats, so I've just clipped it on using some round circular clips there. And yeah, there's the other old junction box and the coiled up bit of cable on the floor there. The NYY-J coiled up is just a little bit of additional cable to allow them to move the hutch around if they want. What I'll do is I'll coil that up and tie wrap it together, and you can see I just need to do a bit of a clean up. So this goes up to the double socket there, so I'll show you it once we've got everything just tied back up again. Actually, just hold on a sec. Oh,
low batteries just coming on. This out of the way. Definitely need to have a little bit of a tidy up as well. So just lift this. As you can see, there we go. It's the cable just going through. It's just small enough just to get that cable through from the 40-watt heater. It's out of the way of the rabbit as well. Okay, so that's it. It's all wrapped up. There's the socket off the back of the original fuse spur. Cabling coming down underneath the step, way around. Here's the Hutch is back in place, and we'll just clip up there to the double socket, and we'll just time it on. And we've got a little bit of cable to play with at the back if they want to move this around. And there's the heater. Do you know what? Probably just go and turn it on. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Just leave this there and let's just turn this on. So we should, oh sorry about the camera work, we should all be powered up now. Let's go and have a look in here. Yeah. Oh, turn that on. Sorry about the camera work, pretty terrible. There you go, you see we're powered up. I don't know if there's any LEDs or anything on this. I don't think there are. Guys inside. Yeah, there's no LEDs on it, but you can see the thermostat there, just on the end. Just set you guys down. Let's see if we can get it focused on that stat. Yeah. So. Start to put a bit of time and then it'll get heated up and should be nice and warm. Alright, good stuff. All done. So that's it, we're all powered up now. I've actually done this take already, but I forgot to turn the camera on stupidly. So yeah, you see we're all powered up, cables all clipped down, and yeah, the heat is on there in the back, so should have a nice warm rabbit tonight, I guess. Okay, so thanks a lot, guys. Oh, and by the way, if you like the video, just hit the thumbs up. Be much appreciated if you did like it. If you didn't, yeah, give us your comments. Why not, and what I could do to improve things. And yeah, if you do like it, hit the is it the bell button? Yeah, hit the bell button, please, and then you'll get notified of any new videos which are coming up. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Cheers.